Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe Podcast. I am your host, Evil Dungeon Master Vince. Hopefully you're doing well out there. The AD&D Universe Podcast. I think I said that right. Today, we're back with another episode. I've been busy this week again, so sorry about the lack of podcasts and videos. We did hit 11,000 on YouTube, so thank you to those that subscribed and listened to the podcast and also watch my videos. Been focusing a little bit on the solo channel of my solo role playing, but that's not here nor there. Ask the DM at theevildm.com is my email address. Ask the DM at theevildm.com is my email address. Theevildm.com is my website. I think I said it twice by accident because I lost the page of the PDF I wanted to look at, so I was concerned. Anyway, patreon.com/theevildm. There. Page 35 of the Player's Handbook, I wanted to talk a little bit about and maybe bring it to your attention about things that have to deal with money, monetary system in the game. Now, we obviously know the standard monetary system in the game. 10 copper pieces equal a silver, and this is page 35, by the way. 20 silver pieces equal 1 gold, 2 electrum pieces equal 1 gold piece, and 1 platinum piece equals 5 gold pieces, which they did change, I think, a little bit in later editions, because I recall 1 platinum piece equaling 10 gold. I think that might have been 3rd edition. I don't know. Don't quote me. I generally just leave it this way as the 1E system. It's the easiest one to remember, though. Anyway. So I wanted to read the part about money changing banks, loans, and jewelers, because this is something that I don't normally do, and I think it will add a lot of flavor and bring the world itself a little bit more alive, because it actually feels like you have an economy system. You have a town with people that actually really care about money in the game, and money's not just, I'm running around with 200 gold, things like that. And you have to actually exchange, because maybe the barkeep at the inn is charging 2 silver per meal, and you only have a gold piece on you. Yeah, sure, you can translate that into whatever, and he'll give you back 8. Maybe he doesn't have the money for it. Maybe he doesn't have that much money on him. These small towns, they generally don't have a lot of money on hand. So he may not be able to do that for you. He may not be able to exchange coins for you. You have to go to the bank and get some silver or some copper, depending on what it is. So, anyway, the paragraph says, large sums of lower value coins can be changed to smaller number of large value coins and vice versa at a relatively small cost, typically 3% of the transaction. This is done at the money changers. Would be the money changers, like be the bank. They just call it the money changers. The money changer will also score as a banker, keeping funds and giving a marker to vouch for the amount. Note that bankers will not usually give any interest. Bankers will give loans according to the reliability, renown, status, and material possessions of the individual. An unknown and low-level character is unlikely to get a loan without giving security for the value of the amount borrowed. Furthermore, the interest rate will be high, typically 10% per month, or even 5% per week. A well-known and property character can typically get a large loans at relatively low interest, at probably about 1% a week or thereabouts. Jewelers and gem merchants will buy and sell jewelry and gems. The buying price will usually be about 20% under the actual value of the plate, a piece, or stone. Characters should carefully shop around whenever possible to determine which establishment offers the best value. Now, when characters go to towns with gems and everything, and they get the worth value, a lot of times in campaigns, I've seen DMs be like, yeah, this gem is worth 100 gold. And the player's like, all right, fine. Now, I'm not sure, because I'm not looking at their DM notes, but I'm not sure if they're playing by the actual selling rule of how gems work, and how a buyer will always buy 20% under the value because they have to resell it. Or maybe it's worth something to them. I don't know. But this makes a lot of sense when you go to, for example, a jeweler or a pawn shop or whatever, and they're buying jewelry from you, they're not going to buy it at the price that you see listed there on the shelf. So, for example, you see another piece of like a diamond necklace on there, and then they're offering, they want to buy 1,000 gold pieces for it. You are not going to get 1,000 gold pieces if you have that same exact necklace. You're going to be 20% under that, maybe even more, maybe be 50%. Heck, look at the racket that GameStop had for the longest time. They still do. When you buy a game for $55 and sell it back, and you get like 20 cents. So I don't know if most DMs in later editions actually use this rule and undercut the gems, or they listed in their notes of gem worth 100 gold, and then when the player goes to sell it in town with his character, he gets that 100 gold. I've always done it that I negotiate in character as the NPC. Well, okay, it's worth about 100 gold, I'll give you 80. And then it gives the room for the player to say, all right, and give them a chance to kind of negotiate and bring that price up. Chances are that the buyer that they're selling it to is undercutting it even more. Now, I always like to roll for these things to see how greedy NPCs are when it comes to this. So it might even be 50% or 40%. Heck, it might even be 10% because the guy's feeling nice that day. So, I don't know. I do find it interesting the fact that you can do markers. Now, markers were something like, a wax sealed ledger entry, and maybe it's a counter sign on there, and you need proof of an identity or a counter witness that can actually, give you discounts or something like. And you can modify exchange rates. Yeah, it's a 3% base, but you know what? If the NPC is a friendly NPC and you have a high charisma, you can drop that down a little bit. Maybe the NPC just doesn't like the way you look, the way you act, or maybe he's heard something bad about you, so he raises it up to 5%. They can do whatever they want. It's a game world. Loan sizes, I've never actually legitly had a character in a game take out a loan. They've borrowed stuff from people, like they've asked, can I, borrow this or that, or, they've stolen money from this or that, but I've never in any of my games had a character legit go to a bank or go to an NPC and borrow money of any sort, gold or whatever. Never. It's always been, I don't have a lot of money, we don't have a lot of money, let's head out and go find it somewhere. Let's go kill some monsters and find gold or silver or whatever. Let's go find the stuff that we need. It's never, okay, I'm going to go to town and I'm going to buy myself a nice sword and armor. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have the money for that. Let me head over to the bank and take out a loan, so I can get that 10% per month interest rate, or even a little more, depending if I'm a first level character and unknown. I would go there and be like, yes, I need to borrow a loan. And, the bank would be like, yes, okay, here's your money you can buy for your armor and swords that you need to get started. But I'm going to have to charge you 20% interest per month. It's just like, what? I mean, I guess you can do that. And I see that is a life. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about that. I don't really see that situation coming up. Even in games when I first started playing D&D way back in the ancient 80s, and I remember when the Great Joe DM would run for us, and he played it, strictly by the book when it came to starting characters, and we didn't have weapons or something, and we got captured, and our characters had nothing, and we were in a town or something, we never went to a bank. That option just was never there. He didn't offer the option, and I didn't even think about the option. And again, I was just starting to learn to play, so I didn't really look at these things. When you're first starting to play a game, you're kind of absorbing yourself into the game and not worrying about these little things here about, bankers and fees and everything. And I'm sure if I had said something, he probably would have role played it out and decided to give me a loan if I was worthy of it in his eyes. But I don't know. I don't see characters doing that. Now, if you had a character art in your campaign that actually has done this and you've used rules similar to this, I'd love to know your story in the comments, either on Spotify or on YouTube, wherever you see this or listen to this. I'm curious. Email me, askthedm@theevildm.com. Because I've really never legit seen loans. I've seen the jewelry thing, the buying of gems and stuff like that, and being undercut and not getting full value, but I've never seen loans at all. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, a loss for words for that one because I've never seen it. It also talks about equipping the character, and that the normal chart that you see here on page 35, and when your character first starts a game, you spend the money, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. Your DM allows you to pick from the book. Going forward, when it comes to this, a lot of these things are not going to be around in the towns that you go to. It won't always be in one store either. Now, I've seen lots of DMs be like, yes, we have a basic general store, just look at page 35. And, those are the prices there because they don't want to deal with it. Now, yeah, I'll have general stores in my game because towns generally will have a general store. And a general store means just general items like food items, maybe some basic equipment, maybe clothing and things like that. But you won't see like armor and like weapons and stuff like that in general stores. And you definitely will not see magical potions, which my group constantly likes to say, does he have any healing potions? Does he have any potion? No, why would a general store have potions? They're not going to have potions in it as much as you want it to. And I don't like the idea, another thing, and I'm just going to go on a rant, and probably people are going to be annoyed at me, but don't care. Not every town, or even city for that matter, has a magic shop. And I hate that notion of a magic shop. And I think that kind of evolved into games as a standard as the editions moved on and moved forward, to have a magic shop in the town, and that you could just walk in and buy whatever potion or magical item that is generally available. Magical rings, magical sword, it's just no. Magic in the world should be, magic and items in my world are earned through adventuring or through maybe a black market or something. They shouldn't be just be able to walk into a store like you'd walk into today and walk into the supermarket, or walk into, I don't know, Ollie's or, whatever, General Dollar, and you can just buy pretty much whatever you want because it's there on the shelf, regardless of the quality or not. I don't like that. I like a world that there's less magic in it as far as magical items. Magical items should be rare, and magical items should be something special that you earn through adventuring. And it makes it it makes your character have growth when it comes to magical items. It's like, if you could just walk into a store and buy a magical sword +1, who the frig cares if you find another magical sword while adventuring? Oh, another magical sword, toss it onto the pile. It's like when we were playing Star Wars, our game, we kept finding red lightsabers everywhere. It's just like, okay, another red lightsaber. Yay. It was more of a joke, but still, it came to the point of we keep finding these rare items that you just like, when you actually earn an item through a role play or through an adventure as a reward, it's like, well, I'll just throw it on the pile. Thank you very much. And move on. So, I don't know. I'm going a little bit of a rant and off of AD&D here, but magical items, when it comes to that, I like to actually have a quest, or, players earn it. I like to give them a solo spotlight when it comes to the game, and that player, gets to do the adventure. The group goes with them, and each character gets their own special little reward at the end. And I think it gives your character some life in the game, and it gives you some reason to want to come back to the game to play and have a lot of fun with the world itself. And that's what I've been doing in Basic Fantasy, and my group has been enjoying it. So, I don't know. So with that said, I'm going to head out. I hope you have a great day. I want you to keep it original, keep it old school. Good night. God bless everybody, and I'll see you next time.